he would like kiss the ground that I walked on.
That's
like,
why it didn't work.
No, that's not why. See,
bro, it had.
Nick's like, everyone likes a guy that gives like the chase, and I was like, that's not true.
It's 100% true. It's 100% true.
You know, Joseph, today's one of those days where I'm like really excited to see you. It's not like we're not.
Why?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me. I can't hear me either.
What's wrong?
My mic's not on.
Oh.
You had one job.
I did everything else.
You're getting good at like putting on the lights, putting the SD cards and whatnot, but you know, you forgot like the
turning
first.
on the mic.
That's okay.
I could have sworn
technically
I did
it's
too.
my responsibility because it's my microphone over here. So
It's okay. That was also my fault. But yeah, today, like, I'm not going into it. I mean, I was a little PO'd at you initially because you set off a little a little bang while I was getting out of my car. So that was a little scary.
It was hilarious. I have to watch the Ring camera.
No.
To see your reaction. I think you were too far away, but you cussed at me a little bit.
I did because I was pissed at you. I was so
then you
annoyed.
weren't happy to see me anymore.
No, but then redemption because we got to talk about some fun things. Your endeavors yesterday.
That was a first.
So recap of what we've been up to. We had our first social and it was amazing.
It was
And
fantastic.
It was a lot of fun. And we met so many cool people and we made so many more friends. And there were so many people out there to support us. And Skylar Batz was amazing. And Trinity Beer Garden, amazing. Her mom, amazing. The sponsors, amazing. We had donuts with our logo on it.
I know that was.
I wish I could have kept that for the rest of my life.
I know. Just until it gets like moldy. And
I know. And then we hard launched our shirts.
we did, which I was gonna wear for this episode, and then I realized I need one. The one that I wore that day was a cutoff, and I don't think it's completely ironed. And I'm not about wearing like wrinkled shit. And I would have had to take another one, but extra material, sleeves, it's too warm. And in the last episode, you turned the heat on to like 70 on the first day of summer.
Sorry.
Bro, that was awful.
Yeah, that was my bad.
So that's why my heat bill was like
But
ridiculous.
no.
Fucking in the middle of summer.
But now we're back.
Beginning of summer.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
It feels like we haven't done this in a while.
Because we haven't. The Hot Ones, which is now going to be airing, I guess, next week.
Nope. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Which this will be like, those will be last week's episode. So people were like amazed that like we're so far ahead.
I know, which is really cool because we're never ahead on our own personal channels. So the fact that we've gotten so far ahead on this is actually something to be really impressed about.
You.
What is today's episode about? Today's episode, we're going to call it How Soon is Too Soon?
And it's like anything. It's like how soon is too soon to eat again?
Are we going to go as broad as that? So the idea behind it is how soon is too soon to start dating again after a relationship? And
immediately when you brought it up earlier, that my reaction was like, you're like, yeah, we're doing this.
We're doing immediately because I know we're going to have polar opposite views. I'm curious to know, what is your view though? Because I kind of already hinted at what mine was, and you're like, yeah, I just know that it's going to be different than mine. So
probably, I don't think there's like a uniform time frame.
Okay.
Because you could be dating somebody for 3 months or 6 months or a year or whatever, and it may take longer depending on how that relationship went. Or you could be with somebody for like fucking 10, 15. People get divorced and they've been together for like 20, 30 years. So I don't know. It's different, but I don't think people take a long enough time to figure themselves out.
Okay.
And that's like across the board. I think a lot of people, what they do is they're in a relationship. You know where I'm going.
I know. That's go.
But it happens all the time. Guys and girls. This is not like a gender specific thing.
Okay.
if people are in a relationship, typically, not all the time, there's exceptions.
Got it.
Typically, if they're going to break up, one's going to break up with the other, there's like a soft landing somewhere that they can just jump to. And even if it doesn't like, it's not like going to be like a full on relationship with that person, there's already somebody that you're like in the wings with. Typically, yeah.
That's like awful.
It happens all the time. You know what it is? People just don't give themselves enough time. So there's not enough of a gap.
Yeah.
Because like a relationship ends, it's like you kind of got to sit in the funk
For a little while.
For a little while.
Yeah.
Because then you're like your natural reaction is to go back out and try to find somebody else or whatever, and you're not ready for it emotionally.
Yeah.
Right. But I think even with that whole dating thing too, like maybe you shouldn't even date right off rip. Like you should take
time to do you.
I think so, man. You got to be like alone and be single. You have to be okay with being by yourself and being alone and single.
So I'm all about experiences, and for me,
and I just like to, you know.
I'm all about experiences, and I think that if you can go out and meet someone and like learn about another person, like that's a win. Even if it doesn't land in a relationship, even if it doesn't land in like multiple dates, even if it's a one-off date, some people are like, oh, that's a waste of time. To me, it's like, well, I got to meet someone new, I got to learn about their story, and I actually think that's really special.
Yeah, but all right, but like that's fine, and I can appreciate that, but in what time frame? You just broke up with somebody, right? Like what is your, I'm not saying you have to have like, well, yeah, I'm gonna wait till 3 months on the dot, but like
I think it depends, because as a woman, women tend to, if they're the ones who's breaking up with the guy, they've already,
there's already somebody waiting.
No, Joseph,
let's
hold
do
on.
a study on that.
No, so what happens with that is a lot of times they've already emotionally broke up with that person, like they don't have feelings for them anymore, but they just keep on giving them one more chance, or like they think that things will change. No soft landings. They think things will change. They're working on it. So they tend to be very optimistic, but emotionally they're detached from it. So women break up emotionally before they finally break up physically. When they finally do that final physical breakup of being like, we're done, it was so far gone already at that point. They just had enough at that point.
Right. But usually because you're emotionally detached and just going through the motions at that point,
you're already scouting.
I think so. And it's just natural reaction. I think like if you're emotionally detached from it and you're just going through the motions, you are like, it's your routine and you stay in it, but you're fielding offers.
I can only talk from my own personal experience.
Are you fielding offers?
No, I was never fielding offers.
You sure?
Yes. So what I had done was I was in a relationship with someone for like 4 years. And the guy was great, but there were just like a lot of things that like we just didn't mesh on eventually. And we like were growing together, and then eventually we started growing apart.
Did you live together?
And no, we didn't live together, which was a problem, because to me, I'm like, I'm ready to live together, and like he couldn't financially get there. So a lot of it was like financials.
Sure.
So we started like growing apart, and he wanted to come my way, but I was like, my way clearly doesn't vibe and mesh with the way you live right now.
Was this the one that? Oh no.
You gotta be careful with your words there, Joseph.
Yeah, but no, I wasn't gonna be that bad.
Okay.
Was this the one that was like too nice?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like he this kid like loved me.
That's why it didn't
like
work.
Beyond anything in my life.
Yeah.
Like this kid could like, not to be dramatic, but it was like this dramatic. Like he would like kiss the ground that I walked on.
That's why it didn't work.
No, that's not why. See,
bro, it had.
Nick's like, everyone likes a guy that gives like the chase, and I was like, that's not true.
It's 100% true. It's 100% true. It's just a fact.
I don't want to chase. I never wanted to chase.
Well, it's not that you're chasing. It's
I don't
just
want
like
a bad boy. I'm freaking over the bad boy.
Not
you tattoo boys are no to no good.
Bro, I'm not even gonna speak on it, bro. No, it's not like a game or a chase necessarily, but it's like if a guy's going too hard to like he's like all about you. It's really cute.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's cute.
Like, it was very
But you're not gonna
sweet.
want a guy that's just gonna like that's just too much. That's not what girls want.
I mean, I like did want it until eventually like everything else I was like, I can't do this anymore. There were like other things that started piling up, but then yeah, for me, like it was, I mean, I've been very lucky where I've never been on one of the dating apps. So I don't know what those are like. So for me, I meet people the old fashioned way of like, I go out to a bar, someone comes up to me, or through a mutual friend. Sorry, I just had Plant City.
I picked the worst drink choice because it keeps going back up and I'm trying so hard not to just like burp into the microphone.
Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't immediately go out to dating, but I also, when I first met Nick, I told him I was fresh out of a relationship. And
but how fresh though? Like
at that point we were like maybe 4 or 5 months, like 5 months maybe after.
Okay. All right. So there was a gap there.
But when you're with someone for like 4.5 years,
right? But
like,
you're not saying like 4 weeks, right?
No, I mean, I was talking to people. Like I was talking to people.
Of course.
But like
it's all about experiences.
They were not. It's all about experiences. They were not lined up. I was just talking to people. I would go out and meet people. Someone would text me. I would talk, like whatever it was.
Okay.
But for Nick, I could tell that like he liked me, and we had a mutual friend, so I had this like other level of respect for him.
Sure.
And I was transparent. I was like, I'm fresh out of a relationship. I don't want to hurt you, and I also don't want to hurt myself, so I need to make sure that like I'm fully okay before we go into this. And then he was like totally okay with it, which was great.
Right.
But
there was I mean, 4 months, 5 months. I mean, I know it's a 4-year relationship, but like 4 months, 5 months that's a decent amount of time to be like by yourself.
But by that point, I was already emotionally broken up with this kid, like, which sounds awful because he's such a nice guy. But like emotionally, we were broken up by like year 3. So like for a year, it was bad. So
what was that last year? Like you knew it probably wasn't gonna work. Like what was your mindset when you were in that last year?
maybe he'll change, and like
you see like glimpses of hope that things are gonna change, and
then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, that was real bad. And then I see something again. I'm like, well, maybe he like keeps saying he'll do better and he'll try and he's gonna do this and then he's gonna do that. And then I'm like, ooh, but that one was really, really, really bad. And then like it just like, well, bad in the way of. I guess I'm not saying names, but bad in the way of like one time he got so like shit-faced, drunk in Boston, coming back from a Celtics game with his friends, that they were drunk too. He missed the train and slept in the subway and his phone was dead. So slept in the subway of Boston, like one of the train stations, like overnight, and his mom had to come get him. And I was like, this is not okay. And he like
love this for me.
I like literally hate this for me is really what it was. Not I don't love this for me. So, and of course like he hid it from me because he didn't want me to be mad, and then his mom slipped in. It was like one thing after, and I like blew up. So there were things like that, and it's just like the emotional maturity just like wasn't really there. But yeah, like so for me, it was like a year that I just had, like kept trying, but like at that point like my heart was so far gone that I just like when we broke up, like if we had broken up like 2 years before that, I would have cried. When I finally broke up, I like didn't cry because I just
you were out of it already.
Yeah, which sounds not great, but it was the truth. So at that point, like when I did start just like talking to people, once I got out, like I would go out to a bar and someone talked to me and they asked for my number, I did talk to those people, even if it was like a couple weeks after, because at that point I was like already done. I didn't think any of these things were gonna happen, and like I never went on dates with them, but like I did talk to people and talk to guys and be like, hey, what's up? Like I'm just like so awkward. Dating's so awkward for me. It's just very weird.
You know what, when we talk about the dating apps and I think about like the fucking anxiety that I would have, the fact that like
have you ever been on a dating app? Yeah. Oh, Joseph.
No. You think I have?
Well, the way that you just went like that, like you hopped.
You know me. I'm like, I got to meet you in person. Yeah,
okay, cool.
I'm very like traditional with that shit because. Yeah.
But dating apps are cool because otherwise you would meet someone that you maybe would have never met in this lifetime, and because they live in West Greenwich. I don't know, somewhere that you just don't go to a lot.
If they live in West Greenwich, you're probably not going to want to date.
They're probably loaded. You probably might want to.
Well. Now that's a whole other fucking thing. You want security?
Dating for money.
Dating for money.
Dating for money is the next episode.
But when I hear people tell me about their like blind date experiences, bruh.
You're over it?
Because I just think about like the scenario to be like, I'll go on a date, but like I kind of already have to have met you somewhere, I think.
Okay.
Because if I just go on a blind date with somebody and immediately it's either like just something's off, whatever it is, and I'm just going to sit there and think like, first of all, I'm in a conversation with somebody I fucking don't want to be in a conversation with. Number one. Number two, like, how the fuck do I get out of this? Yeah. And then number three, I'm just going to be thinking about like my bed the whole time. And I literally just want to be fucking home.
So how soon is too soon to invite a girl over to your house? I want to know from a guy's perspective.
Just invite a girl over your house?
Yeah. So like you guys have gone on a date, right? You guys have been going on a few dates. How soon is too soon to invite a girl over to your house?
Is that Mom's?
Yeah, which makes me worried that something's going on.
Go ahead, answer it.
What?
Go ahead, answer it.
Are you okay, Mama? What do you mean you can't find Chance?
Oh, no.
What? Where was he?
This brief intermission is brought to you by Meow Mix.
Where is that? He's in my clothes?
I had been looking for him.
Look at him.
It's okay. Take a deep breath. He's looking at you like you're crazy though.
Oh my God.
I look everywhere.
All right.
Look at him. It's like he knows he's playing games.
Oh.
My God.
Breathe.
Basement. I said I didn't go basement. I didn't go outside. It's sunroom because I didn't open it. Now there he is. That's why I couldn't find it because he's getting to your clothes.
It looks like he ripped everything out, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, it was probably already like that, let's be honest. It was already a mess.
Love you, bye.
Jesus Christ. You know that?
Yo, she is the best. And I've
She's
never met
so
her in
fun.
person, but
No.
she's fucking hilarious.
But she calls Joe by his government name now because I call him by his government name now. So it's really funny, actually.
Not a fan.
That was actually a really great intermission.
That was fantastic.
Stupid.
Brought to you by Meow Mix.
Meow, meow,
Cat
meow,
Chow.
meow, 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 meow.
Again, it's not an official episode unless you break out into song.
Yeah. Ta-da.
What was the song we were singing before? We're going on a slight tangent, but like, what was the song when I was upstairs coming downstairs? I said like one line and then you just finished it. What the fuck was it? Whitney
I don't
Houston?
know. Yeah.
Oh, it was like I said "and I,"
Oh,
and I and then I just hear her finish the lyric.
Oh yeah. So how soon? We'll circle back. How soon is too soon to invite a girl over to your house? As a girl, I would never invite a guy over to my house ever. So I would wait till the.
That's different though. That's like there's a level of security that you don't want to.
So if you've gone on like 2 dates, is that enough to invite a girl over?
It depends on like what you're looking for though. Like, are you trying to like
One night stand it?
Well, are you trying to hook up, or is it just something like you're gonna date and do that?
So
route?
let's say date.
How soon is too soon?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe like a couple outside the house. Maybe like
Okay.
2 to 3. Maybe.
Okay. What's like your favorite kind of date? So Nick agrees with it. My least favorite kind of date is going out to dinner because it's so awkward to sit across from someone that you don't know and just be like, so yeah, where'd you grow up? And they're like, this is where I grew up. And you're like, what's your favorite color?
Wait, whoa,
They're like,
whoa.
blue.
Whoa, what? What are you in, like fucking elementary school? Why are you asking those questions?
Dude, I don't know what to, like, that's the whole point. At least like I want to go like bowling where like it's like very lighthearted. It's a little more fun.
Sure.
Like, let's go to Dave and Buster's. Let's go.
Yeah, all right.
Let's go do something fun. But like when you're out to dinner, it's just so formal to me. And he feels the same way. So it's like, I just don't know what to ask you. So I get really awkward in dates, and I start doing 21 questions with the person.
Yeah, it can't feel like a fucking interview, because then it's like.
That's what I mean.
But
so
you're not bad at like conversation. So why is it awkward?
I don't know. When I
like someone, I just get so.
No. It's like growing up, I did two things. So I've like evolved. So growing up,
the evolution
of Camilla liking a guy. So in the 6th grade, there was this kid named Matt.
Oh my God. What?
There's this kid named Matt. Grade. No, I was 7th. He was in 6th. He was a grade younger. I really liked him. I'm now friends with his older sister. I liked him so much that
You're
every
not,
time
or you are?
I am.
Okay.
I liked him so much that every time I saw him, I would step on his toes.
Okay, so it's
like Hey Arnold style.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Right.
You're like Helga Pataki.
Right. So then that was that. And then I get into high school, and then I went into my era of like fangirl, like in the way that like I really like these like boy band, like guys and not boy bands, guys and bands, and they were all older than me, so I would go to their shows to make sure that they like noticed me, and then like I would like reel them in that way. Yeah, that was my reel in. Like a fish.
Like this is like I don't even like whatever this is right now.
Yeah.
This is like dorky Rebecca. Like
neither
Camilla.
do I.
Yeah, this is not good.
And then I went to college, and that's when I like thought I was in love.
Mm-hmm.
And I could finally like sleep at a boy's house for the first time in my life, because I couldn't growing up. So like I could sleep in a guy's dorm, and it was fine because it's a dorm. So that was like a weird era, but I was also in my like indie hippie girl era, and now here we are, like as an adult.
The evolution.
And now I'm just like I don't know. I'm very personable, but I also get very I don't know, like every other girl. I get like little girl nervous around like certain people, especially when I first meet them.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, and it doesn't even have to be that I like them. It's just like
sure.
first time meeting you, nervous as shit. So nervous because I was like, I don't know this guy. We didn't really like talk though. Like we didn't.
I knew you were there though,
right?
Because you were like so quiet.
I was by
yourself.
myself.
Yeah.
So like we talked about this before, but like when I'm by myself, when you see me out in public, I'm very extroverted. But when I'm by myself, I tend to like keep to myself. I feel out the crowd, and if there's another personality that's pretty strong in there, like in that case, Margaret's an extrovert beyond extrovert, and kind of so is Brendan.
But they were putting that event on.
So then I know that my place is like, and that was my first time meeting them. So my place was like, I was just more quiet. Like I don't really know anyone. I'm pretty observant.
I know you were like super like.
Which now that you know me, like it's probably weird to like.
Well, yeah, because even like, I mean, even like the networking thing, like you are very much like I didn't even take enough pictures, but this is what happens. People kept giving me beers too. So, but like you're very much like that out there, and it's like I can be, but like I'm the same way. Like if you're that person, then I'm gonna be the one that's like shelling up.
And I think that's why it works, because for us, it's like we are polar opposites, but there's so many ways that we're exactly the same. Because I think we're both, for the most part, when we're just like, when it's just the two of us, none of us turn on. Like we're both kind of just like chilling, cruising. Like I don't go into Rebecca mode. You don't go into, I don't even know what we're going to call it. Chad. I think we called it Chad once, and you were like, no.
Chad's like fuckboy shit. Like that's like, I need a better
different name.
Yeah, because like even like the YouTube shit, like I have to dial it up just a little bit for. You
actually showed up on my For You page on YouTube.
That's cute. Did you watch it?
It was on the way here, so clearly I didn't have a chance to. But it's still up there, so.
I wonder which one it was.
Probably I can't remember.
Nothing good.
Probably one of your auto parts ones, if I had to guess.
Those still get like.
Because it's
I'm like the
relevant.
The one hit wonder. It's like those 3 videos.
It's relevant. That's why.
Yeah,
people can relate.
Sure.
You make things that people can relate, not just Rhode Islanders, just people in general.
Sure. Thanks.
You're funny.
Thanks. What is it? You're just buttering me up over here.
You're funny. I told you today I like you.
It's because it's been a while.
I think it has.
But you were supposed to show up the other day, and I give you the pass because of the car situation. But like,
yeah, I just noticed today I lost my license plate.
You just noticed it today?
I just noticed it today, so my front license plate is gone. I have to go back to the area to go see if it's on the floor.
Oh my god!
I just noticed.
And you got new ones, didn't you?
Yeah.
Bro.
The new like wave one that they're giving out to everyone.
Bro.
I know. So now I have to go back to.
Fucking bad, dude.
Ah.
So bad.
So fun.
I don't know where we were.
I have no idea. I think we need to wrap it up anyways.
24 minutes. This is the shortest one we've ever done.
I think it's good. I think it keeps people on their toes, because for us, we could talk for a really long time. So sometimes we get an hour out, but then sometimes it's good to do a little short one. And then we like hook them in for a 45 minute, and then we do a 30, and then we do an hour. And then you're like, Camilla, we need to stop. I could have done that hot ones for like 2 hours. That was gold.
We're going to do part 2.
Okay.
But we have to sift through the cards to see which like the group ones and just take those out. Because there's a lot of like, you need multiple people.
Which the hot ones you guys would have seen last week by the time that this goes up.
And that one was an hour.
It's so good. It's so good. It really is a great one.
Sure. So moral of the story is
take all the time that you need.
Take the time that you need. And then when you think you're ready, take a little bit more.
Or go on dates so you can just meet new people for experience.
Nah, because I think what's happening with that is you're like looking like for something too quickly. You need to like look inside.
You need to like self-reflect.
You do. You totally do. Like you take more time than what you think, because you have to kind of figure yourself out.
I do agree with that. But I do also think you need to go meet people for experience. We're going to have to agree to disagree.
This is what this is. Okay.
Ow.
It's you here.
Yep.
Okay. So anyway,
thanks so much for hanging out with us, guys.
Another episode in the books. Episode 15 in the books. What else we got cooking? We got anything cooking?
I think that's it for now. But as always, thank you to Skylar Batz.
Skylar Batz.
From Studio 121, who's a great sponsor of us.
And Mom's. What was Mom's name?
Rachel.
She was great. She was like so my people.
I know. She is so your people. And then we have Crazy Neon for our neon sign. And I think that's it. We love that for you.
And I hate that for me.
Bye, guys.
What the fuck
really
was
bad.
that? What the fuck was that?
You need to get better. Ta-da.
Better.